Hello guys, I'm Dardi.b and welcome to my channel Incipher. This is a place where I offer guidance and support through the occult art of tarot and oracle card reading. I am a clairaudient, clairsentient and clairvoyant psychic, which means that I interpret messages from spirit through hearing, feeling and seeing. If you've stumbled onto this video, please know that you've been divinely guided here to receive messages and insights that you are needing to hear no matter what time that you're seeing this video, whether it was posted 1 day ago or 1 year ago, it will remain relevant to you. I'm so excited to get into this pick a card reading today. Now, if you know how a pick a card reading works, then feel free to jump ahead to the timestamps below in the description. Before you go ahead though, all decks, music and equipment from today's video will be listed below in the description box along with my social links if you wish to get in touch. Now today, this reading is specifically about what is coming to you in the next 7 days. So this is not time sensitive. If you're seeing this randomly, then it is exactly for the next 7 days that is projected in front of you. So if you're new to pick a cards, then what you want to do is clear your mind and close your eyes and allow a number 1, 2 or 3 to pop into your mind. I sometimes just imagine complete blackness and then I just allow a number to sort of jump out at me in my mind. You can pause the video if you need, obviously do whatever works for you. But if you do feel energetically drawn to a pile, pick it that way as well. If you are drawn to more than one pile, then go ahead and pick them in that way. Another way that you can choose is asking your spirits to guide you directly to a pile which is meant for you. Or you can watch all the piles and then pick which one resonates the most. Trying a few different ways really helps you to find what works best for you and how you work. So with all of that said, happy choosing and let's get into the readings. Hello, my pile ones. So these are your cards. Let's start here. So we've got the 3 of Swords in the reverse position. We have the 9 of Swords upright and we've got the 9 of Pentacles upright. Okay, so this is telling me these 2 cards here, because they are from the Swords suit, it's really feeling like there's been some really hard and heavy energy coming especially from your mental space. So the Swords all deal with the mental processes, thinking, and thinking is obviously so thinking is linked to belief systems, thinking is linked to behaviors. Really everything that you become or who you are originates at thought. Okay, so that's why thoughts and actually paying attention to what is happening in your mind is so important. Okay, so with the 3 of Swords reversed, I'm definitely picking up that there is a lot of self-criticism, there's a lot of limiting beliefs or negative self-talk, and this is very much linked to the, did I say 9 of Swords? It's 8 of Swords. Very much linked to the 8 of Swords, because the 8 of Swords for me is very much negative self-talk and limiting beliefs. So you've got it coming up in 2 cards, which to me suggests that it's really a real problem for you and something that's really causing you a lot of unhappiness and a lot of pain, internal pain. You have to ask some thoughts that you have, you know, would you say those thoughts that you say to yourself, would you say those to loved ones? Would you say that those to your friends, to your family? And if the answer is no, then you don't deserve them either. And it's really important to know that moving forward, and that this is something that really does need some attention. It's all about making a shift to the positive thoughts side that you actually deserve. And don't get me wrong, that is a journey in itself, because I very much have been through this stage in my journey, and actually being able to slow down enough and focus on what my brain is actually doing, or sorry, what my thoughts are actually doing, and how much harm they can be doing, and all the negative stuff that they really can be attracting becomes really obvious. So if I can say anything, it would be to, if you can, take some time out, and really it's about slowing down, because if you can slow down enough, you can start to pay attention to all thoughts that pop up for you. And I know in this current society, it's not easy to find time to be able to slow down, but it is so important, even just taking some time out and really journaling and really noticing. And it is, if you can start to understand that these negative thoughts, when they pop up, if you can catch them when they're actually popping up, you're going to actually notice how often they are popping up and how often and frequent that you are running through those natural kind of thought processes that you are automatically going to. And these are definitely linked to belief systems that you've maybe inherited from a child. We pick them up naturally from the years, between the years 0 and 6 is very much when we can pick up these beliefs about the world that are passed on from family. So maybe looking back into your childhood and having a little search around to see, just because my mum feels this way, do I have to feel this way? Or just because my mum believes it to be this way, does it mean I have to? And really start to search where the root of all of this is coming from. I definitely feel, especially because this card is in the reverse position. In reverse positions, the card can generally mean that the energy is moving out. Definitely in the past, it's moving out. This energy is moving out. So if you have gone through a recent difficult patch, maybe someone's passed, and if that's the case, then my condolences. I am so sorry. But the journey is just continuing on for them. Perhaps a relationship ended as well. It could also be just some kind of really severe hurt, okay? So this time has been in the past. This time is something that you've gone through, and I feel like you are on the path to recovery from that, or that's where you're sort of sitting at the moment, judging from the other cards. It's about accepting the pain so that you can actually move on, and knowing that, you know what, if you're feeling really hurt or feeling really sad, the best thing that you can do is honestly feel every part of it. And that's the hardest thing to do, isn't it? Because facing pain or facing hurt, it's intense. It's really, really intense. And I feel for you, but the only way to truly get through it without carrying baggage with you into the future you is to really just face up to all these feelings now, and to just let them come, honor them, and know that a brighter day is coming, and everything always passes. It's a lesson. There's always lessons within this time of growth. If we take a closer look, she's tied up with bandages. She's blindfolded. She's surrounded with these swords. She is blindfolded. She does have one foot in the water and one foot on the ground. But the interesting thing with this is the castle in the background of the card is essentially like this essence of you're not alone, and this essence of freedom and home, or just freedom, is so close by. She's standing completely surrounded by these swords, and it's suggesting that she can easily just use one of the swords to cut the ties free from her. So this is very much, if you're feeling trapped, if you're feeling alone, if you're feeling stuck, I absolutely understand how hard those feelings can be. But one thing that you really have to do, which is all about cutting yourself free from this, is to really refocus and refocus on yourself, because there's a part of you that's causing this entrapment. And I know that's probably going to be really hard to hear because sometimes we don't like to hear that. But there's definitely something that you are doing, whether it's you're causing the thoughts that you're having, or you're causing the discomfort, you're causing maybe it's all about the inner self, because it is just her. But these feelings of entrapment is really, really coming in strong. I feel like I feel like you have a really heavy heart as well, and it's like my throat is choking up as well. So I feel like this is really, there's this hurt, and I feel like maybe you don't want to accept it. I mean, you have to accept it, and you have to free yourself, because there needs to be this acceptance of what's happened, and moving on. This is just all about that, because if we then look into the Knight of Pentacles, because I feel like this energy is really pouring into this card. As you can see, the grey skies behind. I mean, it's hard in this card because it's rain, it's like heavy, but the grayness, the grey color can often mean wisdom. So wisdom comes to us through really difficult times. There is always growth through these really tough times. But moving into the Knight of Pentacles, so this is like real bright yellow. This is like solar energy, solar consciousness, getting back to universe, back to feeling bright and feeling like yourself again. So the Knight represents a change or a challenge, and generally a transformation that is going to take place. So a journey has definitely begun by this point, and it's essentially containing obstacles and tests. I don't usually like to say tests, but they're just obstacles that are designed to specifically for you along your journey to actually further your development in becoming the person that you really, really want to be. So the Knight of Pentacles is all about striving for financial or career success. So the lessons that I think are attached to this situation that's popping up here, okay, the really painful situation that has happened. This card is really jumping out and telling me that you are learning lessons that are about teaching yourself, as well as others around you, how to work with self-discipline and what's needed to complete different kinds of projects. So you need to start now looking at yourself or your happiness or where you're going as the project. You now need to refocus this energy on yourself, because finishing, I mean, it's all about finishing energy with the Knight of Pentacles. And I feel like this isn't so much about the Pentacles suit. For me, because these two cards are a lot stronger and a lot more prominent, especially in my mind, in my vision of this, it's saying that, yeah, generally the Knight of Pentacles is all about projects and finishing those projects and building resources and working hard and being patient and methodical. I feel like usually I would suggest that this card speaks about that in a project manner, but these are the aspects that you now need to apply to yourself to help you get through this really difficult time ahead. And some strategies with that, I mean, it's all over the internet. if this is about negative and limiting self-beliefs, you can actually look up, and I'll put a link to it down below, from Marty Lefko, and I think he's since passed. So his wife is managing everything, but he essentially created this program that you can sit at, and so you can perform it at home, and he essentially acts as your psychologist, counselor, whatever you want to call it, and he helps you face, understand, and find these negative limiting beliefs that exist in your mind based on past actions from your childhood. And it helps you just to see, it's literally about perceiving a situation differently. So you might have grown up and your dad beat you, okay, or your mother was emotionally vacant because she was so stressed about everything, something along those lines. You and if they're really stressed and really angry and they have these moments where they just maybe take the anger out on you, you perceive that as obviously a very traumatic situation, but you actually pinpoint that moment in your mind as a lot bigger, whereas for your parents it might have just been a passing moment. Does that make sense? I mean, it's always going to be a big trauma. Childhood trauma is always a big horrible thing, or any kind of trauma, but pinpointing beliefs then for the rest of your life, like maybe you start to think because your father did that's how men see you. And he actually really talks you through it to understand that you are the creator of your world, you're the creator of your reality, and if you can see these passing things as nothing more than passing moments, and you attached a perception to that, you attached the meaning to the act. It's very hard for me to go into because it is quite an in-depth thing, but it really, really, really helped me to start to realize that these things, yes, they happened in the past, and they hurt a lot, but it doesn't mean that has to define me for the rest of my life. And I feel like that could be quite beneficial for you. But even just looking up strategies on YouTube, on Google, about how to release negative beliefs. So another way is listening to meditations while you sleep. And they're meditations that are generally about 8 hours. And again, you can find them on YouTube. And if you look up reprogramming your mind, and there's all kinds of ones. There's ones to unlock confidence. There's ones to even like I am beautiful ones. So that helps you let go of conditioning based in beauty, thinking that you have to look a certain way to be beautiful. And there's all kinds. So you can really find the ones that you are maybe needing, like even just self-love. And this is all about really reparenting yourself in this process from whenever this traumatic thing has happened. There is also, the Knight of Pentacles is also all about the potential of a great job offer coming in, but it just doesn't really blend with the energies of the other cards. But hey, maybe that is coming in. Maybe this traumatic thing is leading to, once you can actually cut yourself free of this, maybe it is leading into a way to share knowledge and a project, maybe a creative project even perhaps. Or there's travel as well, because the Knight of Pentacles can suggest travel. So it may not be super far, it might not be for super long, but again, it will bring further growth and further understanding. So that I'm probably resonating with a little bit more, because perhaps a trip back into nature will help you to really start to process all this that's going on here. Okay, so with that said, there's a few other cards I've got here. We have Karmic Completion. Again, we've got that grey color here. It's all about wisdom and a balance of masculine, feminine, or a balance of complete equality on each side. Then we've got rebirth and we've got adventure. 55 is a master number. 55 is an angel number too, but it's essentially it's meaning huge change. The number 5 in numerology. Let's just move these up a touch. Number 5s in numerology is all about change, and the ability to adapt to change. Okay. So karmic completion, I'm seeing with the number 10 coming through, that this pain that was caused, this really heartfelt, painful situation, was necessary with your karma, okay? Now, this deck is still new for me, so I am still learning, so I will be using the little book. So this card is really indicating the end of a karmic lesson or a karmic cycle, and we are always going through these karmic lessons. You've successfully cleared a contract or like a debt from the past, so this could really refer to the challenging situation that we were speaking about, that you've recently gone through. So this card that's coming through as well is also a message that you won't have to go through this lesson again, this lesson of loss, this lesson of pain. There's whatever lesson that you learned from that situation, you've cleared it. You don't have to learn it again. And that's really, really awesome, right? We love that. So this card can also represent the Wheel of Fortune, okay? So where essentially whatever goes up must come down. So just as the tides in the ocean are constantly ebbing and flowing, you're being encouraged to adapt to both the highs and the lows in life, because there's constantly going to be ups and there'll be some downs. It's just part of life. Hopefully, if you can get this more of a positive mindset, there might be more ups. You'll actually invite in more positives than negatives. And you really have to start believing that it is within your ability to make dreams come true, you know? The ability lies within all of us. By stating this too shall pass in the face of each and every experience, you will remain centered, grounded, and stable. You just have to believe that, and you have to start enforcing that and using that technique to see the change that you hope for. It might not feel like a huge achievement at this stage, but it really, really, really is a huge achievement, clearing out karmic lessons, because they're not easy. They're not designed to be easy. Because it's for our soul's evolution, where essentially we picked the lesson before we came here, before we incarnated. So that can also be another helpful way to think of it, that, you know, when we incarnate, we choose the story. And when you look at it that way, then you start to understand that you can face all of these things. You can change all of these things if that's what you're wanting. You can really become the person that you want to be. You just have to choose, and you have to choose and show some self-discipline, some methodical processes to your approach, which is where the invitation from the Knight of Pentacles comes in. Face challenges head on and treat others with the love and respect that you believe that you deserve. Because if you don't believe that you deserve a certain level of respect and love, then how can you be sure that you truly give it out to others? You might think that you do, but to an outsider looking in, would they agree the same? Okay, so moving into this rebirth over the 8. So I am going to look into this card here. And rebirth to me suggests that once you can start to really cut yourself free from these ties that you've placed upon yourself, you will feel like a brand new human. You'll feel like a brand new person, okay? So this card is suggesting this is a time of major transition and transformation, that will result in significant personal growth. There's almost like rebirth can be very, very similar to a spiritual awakening, where you have the opportunity to align with your higher self. And connecting with your higher self is essentially that guidance system, that inner guidance system, that it comes directly from source. So if you can start to connect with that and find that, then you'll become your own guidance system, which is so amazing. It's all about trusting and believing that a magical future can await, because when you start to believe that, the universe will deliver that to you, because you're creating your reality. How you see things is up to you. And if you're choosing to see all the negative, horrible, harsh stuff of the world, then you're just going to see that, right? You're just going to see more of that. And I know it probably sounds funny. I feel like someone's guide was just like, my person's not going to get this. Say it differently. It's about becoming the best you that you can be. And that is all about really cutting off the parts of you that just are holding you back. And that really takes a lot of self-reflection, inner reflection, and inner insights that are all connected with your intuition. So if you can really connect with all of those beautiful things that are already within you, then you're going to get to this new person that's going to allow in a lot of adventure, a lot of fun, a lot of potential for making money, honey. And we love that. We love making money. Money's great. Love that. Let's all make a lot of money, okay? You really need to let go. This card is also saying that you really need to let go in order to experience the new. So I feel like there is still ties. You're holding on to this situation that happened in the past, and it's like, just really do your best to let it go. Maybe don't let go the whole thing, but take a piece, face it, and be like, all right, I'm done with you now. I'm letting you go. I'm forgiving you. I'm forgiving me. I'm forgiving everyone that was involved, because me holding on to this is just causing me more pain, more entrapment, more negativity that I don't want. I want to be over here connected with source, living my best life, learning good lessons, learning the lessons that I'm here to learn, and making money while I do it. Let in prosperity, Take time to really reevaluate your core values and re-examine your life. Then eliminate any superficial foundations that really don't align with your higher self and your dreams. And that's all about getting into those limiting beliefs and finding, you know what? Why the hell are you there? I don't want you there. Why are you still popping up here? I'm over you. Get out of here. This is definitely a time to really rise above any of those ego-based thoughts and behaviors, so that you can really invite your authentic self out. And that your authentic self is the keys to success. If you can connect to a purpose, a divine purpose, or your purpose, your mission for coming here, if you can connect back to that and remember who you are and how amazing and special and divine you are, you're literally unlocking all the keys to success. You're heading towards a higher level of understanding and awareness, and that's so exciting, especially coming from this karmic completion. Clearing this will lead you into this amazing time of new self-awareness, which is dope. So exciting. I love that for you. I know it's hard. The journey's not always easy, or it's more that it's uncomfortable. I get it. And I wish I could be there with you. I kind of am. I'm here. Hey. This transformation's happening whether you want it or not. So best to really just go forward, and if you really do avoid it, like, you'll know when the right time to do this work is. You'll know deep down. But if you do keep putting it off, the universe will just come in and kind of make you learn it. And that will cause a lot more discomfort for you. So it's really, really in your best interest just to do your best in facing it. Because once you start, you'll get on a roll with it, okay? And lastly, in this card 55, the card of adventure. We love that. I love a bit of adventure. Okay, let's have a look. I love the colors in that one. So this card is telling me that there's a need to see your life as an adventure, as a journey, as something exciting. No one knows what will actually happen tomorrow. We can all guess, we can all try and read the cards and predict, but free will and constant free will from everyone, from the collective, everyone involved, changes the future on a second to second basis. No one knows what will happen. So why not moke? No one knows what's happening tomorrow, so why not make the most of it today? And I know sometimes it's really easy to just be like, oh, yeah, I'm getting to that tomorrow. All good. I'll do it tomorrow. I'll do it later. I'll do it next week. I'm definitely bad for that. And I'm working on that part of myself at this stage, because sometimes when you notice something in your present moment, that is the best time to do it. Okay? When something jumps into your awareness, it's like, oh, okay, that's jumping up for a reason. Like, let's pay attention to it now. And that is just a changing of mindset. Oh, the dishes just jumped out at me. Well, probably because they just need to be done. So just do them and then it's done. Rather than spending all day every time you look at them going, oh, yep, I'll get to those. Oh, yeah, I'll get to those. Don't worry. Oh, definitely getting to those. And they're there for another 2 days. That's what we don't need. This card is really asking you to step out of the rut that you're in. Maybe it's from a job that you're hating or a rut from everyday life. Again, very much similar. But generally, you must feel quite stuck or in a rut. Stuck in a rut. And actually stepping out of that self-entrapment and that rut, you actually will be allowing yourself to experience exciting new things. So maybe this is really trying something new, trying something different, going down a different path you never have before, believing yourself, stepping up and saying, you know what, I can do this. I might not have all the knowledge I need right now, but I will. And I'm going to go after it. And because I deserve it, I'm going to go after and get it, you know? It doesn't have to be anything dramatic. It can just be even minor adjustments to start, because when you start to make minor adjustments, before you know it, you've got a huge transformation like a few months down the track. And I know that's probably not super exciting to hear, but it's also, if you look at it that way, if you see it as, oh, just a few months and I could be in a totally different lifestyle, would you not take that option? Would you not take that potential? Or would you like to just keep getting more and staying exactly where you are? I take the 3 months option, thanks. It's important to really shift your vibration towards the outcome that you desire. So really just getting back into visualizing, journaling, gratitude journaling, scripting. These are all good things that you could maybe start to adventure down, explore, and see what starts to work with you to help you find the steps back to you and back to where you want to be. So 55, again, I said change. So this is all about looking for ways that you can change and adapt your life as it is today. So this card is also just saying it's really about an attitude of abundance. And again, this is just feeding back into the lack mindset that we have. So really paying attention to that, giving that part of your mind attention. Like attracts like, and it's really important to remember that. And that remember that we are a vibrational being in a vibrational world, and you attract what you are. You need to have a healthy relationship with money, with people, with everything, to bring in that amazing life that you want. You have to first be that person. Okay? Abundance is a state of mind. So eliminate any limiting beliefs that are blocking your flow, because you've got to really connect back with your natural flow. And it's like it feels a bit stagnant. With a positive attitude and some self-discipline, some practical, logical, methodical tactics, you can create security and abundance purely even just checking back in with spirit or that inner guidance, your intuition. Just put out to spirit, what can I do where can I start with letting go of these limiting beliefs? And ask the question, let it go, an answer will come. Or even just start Googling, because that's another way that things can find you that you are needing. Whatever resonates with you on the deepest level is what is meant for you. So we're going to leave it there. So thank you to my group ones. I hope you enjoyed this reading. I mean, it was pretty heavy. So, but don't worry, everything comes and goes. Honestly, that is all a part of life. You will get through this. You are stronger than what is happening. You're stronger than what lies before you. And you chose this challenge. So it's time to rise to the challenge. Alrighty? You chose this challenge. You chose this before you incarnated. So there's obviously something really important, really beautiful, and very special to be learning. So step into that, own it, and be all about it. So feel free to follow me on Instagram or Twitter. The links will be linked in the description. If you feel called to, please leave a donation. My PayPal is linked in the description. However, it is not necessary, but it will always be greatly appreciated. I love you so, so, so much. I hope this helped, and I hope you have an amazing day, an amazing evening. Enjoy your rest, enjoy your sleep, and I can't wait to read for you again soon. Bye. Hello, my pile twos. This is your reading, so let's get straight into it. So first up, we've got the Two of Cups in the reverse position. We've got the Temperance, which is a major arcana, meaning that we've got a big lesson here. So in the next 7 days, we've got some big messages. We've got some big lessons coming in. The Fool is another major arcana, the first, in fact, or the last, depending how you perceive it, of the deck, and he's in the reverse position as well. So starting at the reversed Two of Cups, I'm really feeling like this is strong relationship energy. Okay, so this I feel like is a lover relationship, could be friend though, could be even possibly could be relationship with self as well, but it could also be business, any kind of relationship essentially. So the two of Cups in reverse is really telling me that all love should start with self-love. When you love yourself unconditionally, you actually accept and appreciate exactly who you are, and I feel like that's really, really important for someone to hear. You welcome a life of happiness because you, at the fundamentals, at the base level, you believe that you deserve it. And that's like step one in relationships. It's actually relationships with self first. It's funny how to actually really love someone. It has to start with you. And if you really start to unpack that message, depending who needed to hear that one, if you really start to unpack that message, you'll actually find that through your findings of that lesson, and through what you learn, you'll start to have much better relationships with others as a result. As well, if you don't love yourself at all, or if you maybe have never really, I feel like there's this energy, you haven't really thought about it much. Maybe there's another group that are watching this that haven't really paid attention to whether they have self-love or not. Maybe it's just they are just the way that they are, and that's it, because that's still another thing. But if you don't love yourself, like really deeply love who you are, where you've come from, what you've learnt, you'll actually start projecting that lack of love that you have for yourself onto others. And it can be really evident in becoming clingy or attached, because you're attracting like the wrong kind of relationships to you. And because they're the wrong kind, you start to sort of grip into them harder and become a bit of a clingy mess. And look, I've been there. I've been there. I'm pretty sure we've all had, well, maybe not all. If you have had some negative programming, or just that's been part of your message, part of your life, then absolutely, you could probably relate. It's really important to fill your cup. As you can see here, two people are meeting, and there's a big, so this is in the upright position. So the large lion here means that this is a divine connection. It is divinely supported and protected by the universe. It's been planned, it's happening, it's good, it's great. And in the reverse position, it's essentially saying that, you want that, but it's blocked. And it's blocked because you haven't paid attention to self-love first. Okay, so if you're someone that's really wanting to find a relationship or get into a relationship or find your special person, it starts with self first. You've got to empower that beautiful self of yours before you can allow someone in to really get to know you. So now this card I'm also getting that this card can be, there could have been a breakup or some kind of falling out or like a fight, argument. Maybe you and your person are just not feeling connected as you maybe once were, and that sucks, honestly. Like, let's be honest, that sucks, because with relationships, I mean, we get into them, we stay in them because we still want to be happy and fun. We want to have our best friend essentially by our side, and it's so important to find that in someone. But if you're sort of trying to find that person through past traumas, through past relationships and how they've gone, if you're carrying all that with you, you're just going to find more of that. You're not going to find the person that you're needing because you're projecting all this past findings onto something new, and no new opportunity deserves that. No new opportunity deserves a whole heap of baggage. So it can really suggest that there's this falling out of being in sync. That's what I'm really feeling. There's like something that has the potential to be really, really great, really, really positive, really loving, and really equal on both sides, has faced now a bit of a rocky moment. Okay. Perhaps it's someone's not sharing the same kind of emotional connection that you once did. Really all about opening up and giving your loved one, because if you love them, I mean, maybe the love is hard to find right now. Maybe you're that angry at each other. But it's really important to, despite all of that, push it aside, even just for a conversation, because maybe just a conversation that needs to happen, okay? And actually really offer up that safe space for someone to become vulnerable, and not judge them or not take what they say and just act like, and not take it as hurt. They're not, because they might not be saying what needs to be said in order to hurt you. They might just need to say this to say it because that's how they're feeling. So if you can put your anger and your feelings aside just to get to the root problem of whatever is popping up here, will be so beneficial, and it will allow you to both really express yourselves to each other, because maybe that's what's been lacking. You can shift the energy with a single conversation. You're going to shift anything with a single conversation. Okay, so moving into temperance, because this is a big lesson that you are now moving into, this card is essentially about peace and comfort that surrounds you when you are in balance. So this, I feel, is really speaking to, there is a lack of balance, but it's the fact that this card is here is telling me that you can still get that balance back. You can still get that beautiful relationship back on track if you both show up to the table. So it's really important it's important also to remain patient and to go with the flow, because sometimes, especially when things are tense or hot-headed or just not feeling good, the more they build up, the quicker you kind of want to get out of them, right? You can't change a situation sometimes, but you can wait it out. So I don't know who needed to hear that, but you can't control people, but you can be patient as they learn their own mistakes. So I feel like that is really important here. Someone is, maybe both parties or one party of a duo, or a relationship, is really learning some aspects of themselves, and maybe they're actually working on themselves. It's really important to, especially in a partnership, to remain patient, because sometimes we need to communicate as well that, you know what, I'm needing a bit of I'm needing a bit of time, I'm needing a bit of space, and giving them the patience to really let them take that time if that's what they're needing. These are tough lessons to learn, and it's even tougher to put them into practice. The temperance is all about moderation, patience, giving and taking, and taking your time essentially with something, like he's pouring the water that he's just gathered from here in and between the cups. He's just standing there just doing that, and he's taking his time doing it. And he's sitting with his emotions, because the cups are all about emotion. So he's keep hearing stewing on it, but I don't know, it doesn't feel like stewing. It's like just sitting and simmering in his emotions. This is honestly one of the strongest and most important cards in the deck. So, and change really does take time, especially if it's about progressing and learning how to communicate properly, or learn to communicate, or self-love. Learning to love oneself is not always an easy journey, mainly just at the start, okay? There's also an element of self-control that needs to be coming in here. So maybe that is avoiding fighting, avoiding arguments. Maybe when you feel yourself getting into that space of wanting to argue, it's about, hold up, self-control. We've been down this road before. What can we do to not do this again? But essentially, this card is also saying that, this card also is telling me that rejuvenation, renewal is coming in. So it's about avoiding extremes or really forcing something to happen. Just try and allow in changes if change is needed. Don't be thrown off track by the influence of others or your ego or your base emotions. Really just stay true to yourself and remember who you truly are through any kind of conflicting environment, okay? Now, the Fool reverse. So in the upright position, the Fool is all about taking risks. It's all about new, vibrant, excited energy, enthusiasm, a sense of ignorance, because maybe you're starting like a new journey. So to see it in the reverse position, it's suggesting that something is holding you back from moving forward, and I do feel like it is this relationship, or maybe the state of the relationship that you're in. There's also a fear of the unknown coming through, to the point that you've almost come to like a standstill because you're worried about taking any action because you don't know the outcome. Okay, and this really boils down to the need to control everything. And when we get into that space, because don't worry, I've been there too. I've been there. You try and control every outcome. I mean, it's still something I'm trying to unlearn, because I think when something's ingrained so strongly, it takes a while to get rid of it. But when you try and control everything, it's coming from a lack mindset also, okay? You got to balance it out with knowing, yeah, that the universe has your back regardless of what the outcome is. And sometimes it's all about detaching from the outcome. So I'm really feeling like detach from the outcome, okay? put your emotions, put your need for controlling or need of knowing aside, so you can really focus on what's needed here to get it back to a better position. Okay? The universe will have you. The universe will protect you, guide you, and support you, whether you're with this person or not in the future. And really, it's not about that. You can't. Sometimes we have to let go of people because that's just part of our journey. And you might have to let go of them in one sense, but maybe they become your best friend, or they become a good friend, or, become a business partner only. That change within relationships shouldn't be scary, but I understand that it is. But okay, with that said, let's jump in. I do have another few cards. So I've got 3 numerology cards here that I'll be placing on each, just to get some more clarification of what's really coming in for the next 7 days. Okay. So this is quite a heavy thing, but it doesn't have to be, but really just connecting with the flow and allowing things to kind of progress rather than trying to get an answer straight away. If you can incorporate a little more patience to the situation, more clarity, and probably the outcome that you actually want will have more chance of coming through. All right, so first up we've got the Pride card, okay? And the fact, okay, let's just even unpack that right now because I'm getting some messages. So so with this card, we were talking about how it is about a couple or some kind of relationship that's not really working out. Someone's got a little bit too much pride in the situation. Someone's really not letting go of their ego, or coming through with their ego too strongly. Okay, so I'm not saying that that's you. Maybe it is. It can be if it's between 2 people, it could be you, it could be them as well. And look, it's just sometimes when our ego gets a little too active, it can cause things to happen that actually lead us more astray and cause the outcome that we don't want. Okay. It's really, what I'm getting is there's a need to swallow your pride to improve this situation. If I can just say it so bluntly, either you or this person, but I feel like if you're watching this, then maybe it is a little bit aimed at you. Spirit's like, listen. By admitting when you're wrong and actually choosing to see another's point of view, even if it's a comment about yourself, look, if they're making comments about you and it's really horrible and it's not aligned with who you are, then fair enough. But if there's actually a glimmer of truth in there, let go of the pride, put the ego aside and actually pay attention, because they're giving you, what this person's actually giving you is an opportunity and a chance to grow. When someone's completely honest with you, you get the opportunity to actually look at the situation, look at yourself and say, okay, I'm actually doing that. You know what? I'm actually doing that. And actually coming back at them without combative responses. Be open, because at the end of the day, even if they do say something that you don't agree with, that isn't you, that's their perception. So who cares? You know what I mean? If it's really not who you are, then you don't have to pay attention to it. You can really, honestly, get them out of your life if it's that extreme. If there is honesty, and usually people that have been together for quite some time kind of know what's up. So maybe it is time to put down the fists, put down the, combative energy, and actually start to pay attention, because someone's giving you a really good opportunity here. When you actually choose to see someone's point of view that isn't your own, you actually raise your vibration, which does bring you closer to those outcomes that you're hoping for. If you want to create this happy, harmonious, beautiful life that is a potential in this Temperance card, you've got to let go of your need to be right or in control. To overpower, belittle, or punish another goes against the nature of your soul, and it actually takes you out of alignment. Those things that we can maybe do to people especially the people around us, is just not how our soul is constructed, if that makes sense. Our soul is all about love, support, guidance, help, unity, beauty, kindness, gratitude, all those great things. When you have the courage to actually own up to your mistakes, you align yourself with source. So admitting when you're wrong actually builds character. It builds inner strength, and also it builds self-esteem. So it does open the door for resolution and creates better relationships with others. It's about cooperating with others as well. So I feel like in this situation, whatever that might be, because it will be more specific to, because the specifics are different depending on the person. So it's really encouraging you to cooperate with others. And when you swallow your pride, you actually make your dreams come true. So really important. Then we've got health here is the next card. And with the health, I'm really seeing that obviously this situation is causing a lot of stress. It's causing a lot of heartache. It's causing a lot of confusion, tension, all these things that really no one deserves. We don't want those. They're too hard. They're not fun, basically. The fact that this card is popping up over temperance is allow in the moderation, the cooperation, the helpful guidance of your loved ones, and really allow, and so you can focus back on generating really good health. Because when you stress and when you're angsty or angry, you can actually push your body to limits that you don't need to go. So we've got timeout in this last card here. Now timeout also is really just speaking back to the temperance card, because temperance is all about patience, or sometimes waiting, and the fact that like health has shown up, it's suggesting that timeout is really needed. So timeout from this situation, timeout from this stress, timeout from this situation is needed, okay? Especially if you're trying to control the outcome of the situation too much, it's time to take some time out. Now, just for a little bit more guidance, I'm going to jump into this card in the book. It's really important to put your health and happiness first, especially if this situation that's being caused with whoever this person is. It's really important to really focus in and connect with your body through maybe some meditation, and really find like, is this really what you want, or what do you really want, and how are you going to go about getting there? So maybe as well, this situation is causing you to actually not look after yourself properly, or maybe the people that are involved are not maybe looking after themselves as well as they could be, because it does suggest that, you know, we need good nutrition, we need exercise, we need to be drinking at least 2 liters of water a day, or whatever amount works for you. But getting a good night's sleep, detoxifying, actually going outside in nature. Yes, going outside. Engaging in relaxing activities. So watching TV, reading books, just sitting and relaxing, avoiding toxic people, environments, maintaining that positive mindset, meditation or yoga, you know, and actually defining what your personal limits and boundaries are. And that can be so beneficial and so important to learn and say, you know what, this is a boundary for me. This is off limits, okay? Because I don't want to go there with you, and that's it. And sometimes boundaries are necessary just to even enforce some space so you can do some personal healing yourself, you know? You can really call upon your spirit guides, your angels, if you need, to really show you the next step to take for the best outcome. You know, really, I've done it when I've been in an argument with my partner, and we're just clashing, it's not working, and it's so upsetting. And I've actually just sat there, and I've known that I've had something to do with it. I know it wasn't just, you know, my partner causing an issue. I knew that I had made a mistake somewhere. But you know, when you get into that prideful kind of like ego fight where you're like, I'm not backing down. Like, you obviously don't say that, but in your head, you're like, I'm not backing down on this one. Like, I really, really, really felt strongly about this one. I'm not backing down. You back down. You back down. And it felt horrible because he's my best friend and I love him so much. So when that happened, I just literally called on my angels and I was like, what have I done? Or what can I do to fix this? And literally and I just stayed sitting there, just waited. And then all of a sudden I'm up walking to him and I say exactly what needs to be said. It was amazing. If you even just put that out there, you'll be amazed at how they can help you overcome certain things like that. Lastly, with this timeout card, just to go into it a little bit further, just because I feel like I kind of brushed over it before. How dope are those colors? Proper royalty colors, can I just say? You're a royal queen or king, but you're royalty, bitch. So timeout number 37. It is time to quit the busy schedule and the hustle and bustle of life, just even for a little bit but do it as much as you can as well. Perhaps you've been working too hard or you've just got a lot going on, and maybe that's where this situation's coming in. It's just there's a lot on your plate, I feel. Maybe as well you're tired, irritable, anxious, and maybe that is actually causing the angst between you and this person, or you're just generally feeling a little unwell. Again, that's where the health card comes into it. If you've been under stress of any kind or have been spending time in like a negative or toxic environment, you've got to remove yourself from the situation to heal and recharge. And that could even maybe just, even if you still want to go to work for a bit, go for it. But maybe it's actually moving out of the house or the apartment or whatever it is, just for a week. Get an Airbnb just to get some air, literally. You know what I mean? And there's no harm in that. There's no shame in that. There's no shame in wanting it, and there's no shame in asking for it. If you need it, and if it's going to save or get you the outcome that you're hoping for, then definitely take that opportunity. This is the perfect time to take a vacation, okay? As we were just saying, get like a massage even. I'm feeling like a massage. Yes, I want a massage or a facial, soak in a hot bath. Take a walk in nature even. Like, I love watching movies, so maybe watch movies or read a book, and one that like you're actually interested to read, not one that you're like, oh, well, if I read this book, I'm working on myself. So just let go of all that like tension and that work, that feeling of, oh, I've got to keep working on myself. I've got to keep. Let that go, and really find ways to unwind that work best for you. And that will really help to bring in a sense of renewal here for sure. So maybe that's something that you do in the next 7 days. Maybe you just take a few days out and just go somewhere just for you, and get a massage and get a facial just for you, maybe that's and this maybe is just what you needed to hear. Just you needed someone to say, just go do it. You deserve it. Just go do it. The answers to all of this will always present themselves in the right time. So if you're lacking clarity or lacking answers, don't fret. Ask your angels, wait for an answer. It will all come to you, okay? But finding a bit of a sanctuary, even just for a couple of days, you'll be amazed at how much that works for you and how much more revitalized and bright you probably feel from that, okay? So that is all I have for you, my beautiful group twos. So I hope this helped. If this resonated, please leave some comments below, because I would love to hear about this situation a little bit more. I love getting in and juicy with the situations, with the specific messages. So if this was specific to you, please leave a little comment. I would love to hear about how it's going. I love to hear or I can maybe offer you some more tips, offer you some more strategies in how to really get from this position into this amazing position. Okay? So, Feel free to check me out on Instagram or Twitter. Those links are below in the description box. If you feel called to leave a donation, my PayPal is also linked in the description. However, it is not necessary, but it is always greatly appreciated. I love you so, so, so much, and I hope you have an amazing day, an amazing evening, a good rest, and a good sleep. And I cannot wait to read for you again soon. Okay? Bye. Hello, my group threes. How are we? Let's start this reading, shall we? So for the next 7 days, this is what's coming in for you guys. All right, so first up, we've got the 10 of Wands in the upright position. We've got the we've got Strength, which is in the reverse, and we've also got Justice, okay? So big things happening this week because we've got 2 major arcana, which is implying that there is big life lessons happening, okay? But let's first start off with this 10 of Wands. So essentially this card means that you're really burdened by too many responsibilities perhaps, and maybe too many commitments. So it's about really putting your needs first, and it's about delegating as well. And it's delegate what you don't need to do, delegate what doesn't actually need your attention specifically, and focus on the things that really, really do require your attention. You don't have to do it all on your own, and it's suggesting, this card suggests that you are needing some help. So, and it can sort of say, it's sort of telling me that there is a bit of stress present in your life, maybe too much, or more stress than there is happiness. So all this hard work that you're putting into a project or to work or into some aspect of your life, is actually leading you towards exhaustion and burnout. It's really important to start to put yourself first and actually learn to say no, because maybe you have been someone in the past that would always say yes. If someone needed help, you're 100% there, despite what you have going on, which, look, that's really kind of you, but it's sort of causing you stress and angst now because it's now showing up in this reading, okay? So start asking for help. There are people around you that you could ask for help, and no one's going to do it for you. No one's going to check in with you to see if you need help. That's not their responsibility. Everyone else's responsibility is making sure that they are in the best place or best situation for themselves, because they're responsible for themselves. You need to be really responsible for yourself and for your workload, because at the end of the day, it's only you that can manage that. You know, if you have a boss, for example, I just saw a boss like kind of shouting at someone. So I don't know if maybe this is coming from a boss, maybe putting too much on your plate. You don't deserve that. You don't need to put up with that. And you can feel and this Strength card is suggesting that you're not feeling strong and powerful and in control. Okay, so maybe someone is taking away your power. So maybe that's why I saw the boss thing. So, but find your strength, stand up again and be like, you know what? No, I've got so much on my plate right now. Actually, I'm going to take a week off. And if you don't want me working here anymore, then that's fine. Let me know, because you'll find somewhere else amazing to work. If this is a really toxic environment that you are in, something new, something amazing will be coming through. So that is something that you really need to step up and enforce for yourself, because your soul or an aspect of yourself is really crying out here and is saying, look, this is too much. You need to set boundaries. You need to communicate boundaries so that people know where you stand. And that's really a cry from within coming out. So please heed that call, take the steps, and don't fear, because the universe has your back. The universe always has your back. And sometimes it's about creating those new boundaries for self to really invite in a beautiful new future. So let's jump into the Strength card reversed. So it's suggesting to me that there's so the Strength card in the reverse position to me is telling me that you're not really flowing with self-confidence or self-belief at the moment. I feel like there's more depletion, which is obviously coming in from this influence of the card as well. So you need to actually sit with yourself and ask yourself, how can I bring self-confidence and self-belief? How can I bring more of that into balance with each other? And just sit there, ask the question, and then go about your day. The fact that you even just sit and ask your spiritual team that question alone, answers will start to come in, or you will start to have realizations or insights into this yourself, okay? So this card is also saying to me that rest and withdrawal, withdrawal. It's such a hard word to say. Withdrawal. Rest and withdrawal sounds so weird. Rest and withdrawing from the situation for a temporary period is a must. You've got to take care of yourself so you can take care of others. And I feel like there's some kind of, I'm not a doctor, and I'm not suggesting that I am, but it is sort of, the cards are suggesting that you're not feeling 100%. Maybe you're feeling run down and let down, or you're just not feeling 100%, and it's important to really get back to that state. This can also, I feel like this card is also suggesting some shadow work. So maybe you're a bit prone to kind of explosive behavior, lashing out at people, or becoming aggressive. That's like a super negative aspect of this card in this position, but it's not something to be ashamed of, and it's not something to judge yourself or critique yourself about, because look, it's all that aspect of ourselves. That aspect of yourself exists in everyone else. We all have the potential and the ability to get really aggressive, to get really moody, to lash out at people. It happens. So don't feel any shame there, and don't be ashamed of admitting that for yourself, because if you can step into acknowledging that for yourself, your vibration from that purely alone will rise, and that in turn affects frequency, that affects everything. That affects the potential of a positive outcome happening as well. So it's really important it's really important not to show yourself any judgment there. If you're starting to maybe act without thinking, and maybe doing something that you regret later on, you need to learn not to dismiss, but to channel the emotion that you're feeling so that it doesn't actually hurt yourself or others. And this is a really important thing, because this is about kind of, I love how the Strength card ends up talking about all kinds of emotions, but you've got no cup cards showing up. So it's about when you feel a certain way, don't block it, don't put it somewhere, don't push it down just because it's not a friendly or nice feeling to feel, because society makes us feel that way. It's like part of the spiritual process, and part of honoring yourself as a human being, or as a soul having a human experience, is about learning to feel all the things and not fearing feeling all of those things. Okay, so through avoidance of these feelings, that's when people can block things, shove things down, and before you know it, they've festered for years, and this person is now not healthy because they've kept all this stuff inside them, because they feel like that's what they're meant to do. But actually being incredibly honest, and that's where we can maybe move into this Justice in Reverse card. When we can be really honest with ourselves, that is sorry, my throat's getting all When we can be really honest with ourselves, that then turns into emotional intelligence, okay? And that's how we can actually start to handle difficult situations better and more proactively and more with more compassion and kindness in our hearts. So let's just jump in with this Justice card, okay, in the reverse position. This card is telling me that there's an element of you not being willing to kind of take full accountability for your actions. And you may be trying to dodge a bullet or blame others for your mistakes, or you're being dishonest with yourself and others. There's this kind of element of dishonesty, and we were just sort of talking about that, weren't we? It all ties in, doll. It all ties in. So this card can also suggest that the inner critic is in full effect, like it's happening, it's loud, it's obvious, you can't miss it. And it's really important that taking accountability doesn't have to be scary, it doesn't have to be harsh, it doesn't have to be horrible. Taking accountability is just your ability to be honest with yourself. You don't then have to, shout it from the rooftops for everyone to hear. But it's important at least for you to know deep down inside exactly decisive feelings about how you feel about something. You have to yourself have those definitions and that clear clarity just for yourself alone. You don't have to tell anyone else about it. But yeah, getting really honest with yourself will really help this situation. And standing up for yourself, like, don't let anyone walk all over you. You are a strong, beautiful person that deserves to be helped when you need it. We all need help when we need it, like, just honor that for yourself and know that there's no shame in asking for help. That is another big one. All right, so I do have some more cards here for you. So we'll jump into those. Oh my goodness, love these cards that are coming through for you. So first, okay. Oh my God, can you hear that fly? Oh, hope that doesn't hang around. Please don't hang around, Mr. Fly. Okay, so first up we have 66 and healing, okay? Then we've got the number 2, which is patience. That fly just flew up in my grill. And then we've got, intuition number 22. Oh my gosh, I think he's got... Oh. Get out of here, please. Angel, spirit, please take this fly back outside wherever it came from. Okay, thank you. This card's telling me that it's time to really focus on your healing abilities and actually being of service to others. So actually exploring some different ways of healing could be really, really beneficial to you. So things like Reiki, kinesiology, physical therapy, acupuncture, maybe a life coach even, whichever path or whichever choice resonates with you, it's sort of time to get that moving for yourself. This card's sort of suggesting that there's some stagnant energy within you, a bit of toxic energy. Maybe your aura actually absorbs and stores energy from other people, which if you're a highly sensitive person or someone that does love to do a lot of things for other people, that could be very much the case for you. It's really important to even just energetically clear your aura or clear out on a regular basis. It can be as simple as burning a candle that you really love with a smell that you really resonate with, or just even some incense. That can even just be a really easy way that you do start to cleanse your environment and cleanse your energy, okay? Because it's suggesting that there is some really toxic energy or just some really negative energy that is still being held within the body, especially the fact, and we know where it's come from, considering it is this card is laying over the 10 of Wands. It's sort of saying that where this toxicity is coming from is from you not honoring what you need and those boundaries that are really important for you to put in place. Okay, so with that said, let's jump into patience. This card's really telling me that it is time to stop and just enjoy the present moment. Nothing more can be done to achieve the outcome that you're desiring. It's important to know that the situation that we have been talking about doesn't really require specific or urgent action, if that makes sense. You're actually better off evaluating your progress and clarifying what your dreams really are, because there's this feeling that you've just kind of overburdened yourself with a lot of things that sort of don't matter in the big scheme of things, because maybe you're trying to fill some other little void that exists. Maybe you're trying to fill this other need that you're feeling, and you've been trying to fill that with doing a lot or working a lot or helping people a lot. And it's not really manifesting the outcome or the future that you really want. So it's really important, just to evaluate the progress, clarify to yourself what your dreams are and what your desired outcome is, and get that image in your mind really strong and really solidified before you move forward. Making quick and hasty plans or decisions is really not what will benefit you here, because it could result in more stress and more disappointment, and I don't want that for you, and I don't think you want that for yourself. This is an opportunity to focus all of your energy and attention on really visualizing your dreams, as opposed to just pushing against the obstacles that do stand in the way. So surrender the outcome to the universe and get on with living, because life is great and it misses you. Now, lastly, let's have a look at intuition. So the card of number 22. And this is, I think it's great that it's coming up over the Justice card, because this card is telling me that it's important to trust your inner guidance and to really embrace the intuitive wisdom that does reside within your soul, your gut feelings, if you will, because there's been a feeling, it's almost like you've neglected that focus for a little bit. Trust your intuition, because it will never let you down. Like I've said, I don't know if I've said it in this reading, but another reading, maybe pile 1. So maybe head over there and have a little listen if that resonates. But you've really got to trust your intuition, because your intuition is connected to source energy, and source energy exists within you. Source is soul energy. So being able to connect back to your intuition, it will never lead you astray, and it will show you exactly where you actually want to be, 100%. And it's never too late to get there. It's never too late to follow that. Try to go within and actually look for your intuition, because it knows the path that serves your greatest good. And you'll actually start to see synchronicities showing up, and this will actually help you find your way heaps easier, heaps better, and you can get out of any hole, any rut. I mean, I am evidence of that. I won't go into that too much, because I might do it in another video, but I was in a massive hole. We're talking huge hole. Still in the process of getting out of it, but the way I'm feeling today is a million times better than I was feeling a year ago. So it can happen to anyone. It can happen for anyone. Trust in yourself, and your inner guidance system will get you there. So quite a lot happening for this next 7 days, quite big things happening for the next 7 days. Just remember patience, tune into some intuition, get some meditation happening, get a massage, get some Reiki done, follow what feels best for you. Beautiful beautiful being and you deserve only the best things. So with that said, group threes, that is all I have for you today. Feel free to follow me on Instagram or Twitter. All my links will be linked below. And if you do feel called to leave a donation, my PayPal is linked in the description. It is not necessary, but it's always greatly appreciated. I love you so much, and I hope you have an amazing day, an amazing evening, an amazing rest, or enjoy that sleep. And I can't wait to read for you again soon. Bye.